Welcome back, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you a very important concept inside object-oriented programming, which is inheritance. And for Java, the philosophy behind Java, which is for reusability, or the term they normally say is code once is everywhere. And let's just give a concepts about inheritance inside here. Inheritance is actually about supertype and subtype, or superset and subset. Let's just give an example first. Let's just give an example first about the inheritance case, and inheritance help Java to express about the semantics happen in real life this way. Let's say you have a set of people. You have a set of people, which is a larger set here, and set of objects. Each individual object is called a person. So we can create a class to describe about this set of object. And in order to describe, you already know what is the class already. The class is the description, an abstraction is to describe a groups of objects with their common characteristics and their common behaviors, and all of the people inside this set will have the characteristics of ID and name, and they also have the behaviors of two methods, which is to be able to eat and to be able to work. That one is to describe about set of a class, describe set of person. And then inside this group, okay, there is a subset. There is a subset, smaller set here, which is called the lecturer. The lecturer is also a person. That's why he is also going to have ID, name, and also have the two behaviors, which is to eat and to work. Okay, so the lecturer is also a person. However, the lecturer is more special at the point that it has a special characteristics in addition to ID and name, which is the department. Okay, so now, when you code the person class already and you would like to code the lecturer class, you could always reuse the ID names of the person, because the lecturer is also a person. You can always reduce the behavior, eat and work of the person, because the lecturer is a person. Okay, and you only have to code about the departments here for the lecturer. Similarly, if you have another subtype, which is group of students, student is also a person. That's why it's also have ID and name. Okay, it's also be able to eat and be able to work. So you will not need to code again about ID and name, because if you already coded the person, you would only need to code the student itself. Okay, and you would only need to code the class, which is special characteristics of students, because again the student is a person. Okay, so just to conclude on this one, I'm going to give the definitions of the inheritance. Inheritance is a process whereby the characteristics, again, okay, the characteristics and the behaviors, okay, are transmitted from parents or the base, okay, or the super, okay, parents or the base or the super types to the child or the subtypes, okay, or sub entities. And because you are transmitting the characteristics and the behaviors from parent types or super type to subtype, okay, you promoting the reusability of existing characteristics and behaviors, just like the lecturer is reuse the characteristics of a person, because the lecturer is a person anyway. Okay, that's why. Okay, and the behaviors as well of the lecturers. And this one is another one of the 4 features in object-oriented programming. You already studied the first features, which is abstraction, second features, which is encapsulation, and the third feature that you're studying right now, which is the inheritance. Okay, inheritance. So this one anyway, it's reusability from supertype to subtype. What would you reuse? You reuse the characteristics and behaviors. Why do you reuse this one? Because these are the things inside the class. Okay, in things inside the class. So this one, if you coded the class person already, you don't have to recode everything inside class lecturer, only code special thing. Similarly for the student. So it's for better code reusability for better maintenance, because if you would like to change the characteristics of the person, you'll just change it from person class, and it won't be reflected in lecturer, it won't be reflected inside the student accordingly. Okay, for maintainability, reusability as well. And also it can express the real semantics inside real life, which is the lecturer is a person, the student is a person too. Okay, this one is very important for the new concepts, new features that we're going to study, which is polymorphism. But in this case, we just focus on inheritance first. Then next part, I'm going to use some programming in order to demonstrate about inheritance.